Hey guys, Deslater Magic here, back with another overlooked but awesome card, and this one did come out in 2016, so maybe it's not that overlooked, but it was never really in a particularly widespread set. So this card was printed exactly one time, one deck, one color, one rarity, and it does exactly one thing. And I don't want to give it away, but it was only in a pre-made deck, so it did fly under a lot of people's radar. But once you see this, it's basically an automatic include in any commander deck that's multiplayer oriented and runs black. Some of you might have already suspected what this is. I'm of course talking about the absolute legendary Curse of Vengeance, not literally legendary. Now if you're about to say, oh, it doesn't matter if it was legendary or not because, it's commander, singleton. Yeah, you can clone it. So what does this amazing card do? Well, for 1 black mana, it's an enchantment or a curse. So of course it attaches to a player, so enchant player. Whenever enchanted player casts a spell, put a spite counter on Curse of Vengeance. When enchanted player loses the game, you gain X life and draw X cards, where X is the number of spite counters on Curse of Vengeance. This is a fun little turn 1, isn't it? The problem is this throws the politics completely out of whack. So, if you're playing like 4-player commander, you're going to want to attack this player like crazy, and nobody else is, because as soon as that player loses the game, you're going to gain X life and draw X cards, where X is the number of spite counters on them. And that would benefit you, just a little bit. Now you throw it on the player too late when they're, about to lose, and you get next to nothing out of it, or actually nothing out of it. But here's the problem. Okay, so everybody's avoiding attacking that player. Well, it's last man standing. Like, how are they going to win if they don't take out that player? So they'd have to probably take out you first, and then this aura would basically get exiled or whatever, removed from game, because you're the owner and controller of it. And then they could proceed to knock out that player. So be aware of that. You could just save this for, seriously, this person's pissing me off, and, it doesn't really encourage other people to attack them unless they're so low that people are like, well, they're at 10 life, you're at 50. Let's just take them out. Maybe you'll get 1 card out of it, 2 cards, some life, whatever. So, it's dangerous. You got to put some thought into it, but boy, is it funny, because this is like, you have wronged me. I am going to put a curse on thee. And as soon as you lose, there will be blood. I'm not just going to knock you out of the game, I'm going to benefit from it. And as soon as you're done, I'm coming for everybody else with my bonus 10 cards and 10 life. So this card is absolutely crazy. It's hilarious. The artwork is very much what you would expect from the card. I love everything about it except for the fact that it does absolutely nothing outside of multiplayer. That kind of sucks. If somebody just wants to sit down and play 1 versus 1 commander, this is a dead card. But for the record, this is actually technically legal in Legacy and Vintage, for all of those multiplayer Legacy and Vintage games that everybody's always playing. So when I saw this card, I just thought it was so hilarious. I had to share it with everybody, make sure that it's on everybody's radar for Commander, because if you're like, yes, this would add some dynamic fun and craziness to my game, let's do it. Or if you're like, no, this seems stupid, they would just attack me. Everybody's got their own deck personality and their play style, but in case this one flew under your radar because it was only in 1 deck in Commander 2016, never been printed before. So unless you read the whole deck list or own the deck, it's very likely you've never heard of this card. I guess if somebody played it against you, but yeah, I think this is very overlooked by a lot of people. Oh, and the good news is, despite the incredibly low print run, you can get this card for just over $1 from most sources. So hopefully you can find a place for this wonderful card. Check out the rest of this series, and I will see you guys next video.